And then Donna rushes back. And it's nice to see Donna again. It was interesting seeing the mother daughter talk about all this stuff, you know, just life things, sex, the sex talk, as she called it. But yeah, and all right, guys, we're back for episode 5 of that '90s show. So in this episode, basically, it was Jay being down bad and Ozzy being gay, which we already knew he was gay, but I guess, he wants to let the world know. And he's starting with Kitty. That's the first person he wants to let know in his regular life. First adult person to know that he's gay. So I'm guessing his parents don't know, obviously, because then he wouldn't have to come out. Big brain. But yeah, that's besides the point. Ozzy's trying to tell Kitty throughout the episode that he's gay, and, something always stops him. It's a kind of played out storyline for TV shows nowadays, but they made it work, I guess. They did make it funny when it tied into Leia's whole situation with her mom, but that's later in the episode. So this episode starts off with the internet being introduced. It's the '90s, so the internet's a new thing. And Kitty is trying to figure it out with Red, and Red wants nothing to do with it. Red pretty much hates it because he hates change, and yeah. But I love that because he's more of a traditional man, and Kitty is very open to change. So we get to see the dichotomy between husband and wife once again in this episode. The other side of the episode is Jay and Leia's dynamic kind of shifting. Jay is down bad for Leia now, but she's still down bad. She's just not showing it anymore. And she actually doesn't even know what to do with the whole Jay situation, because now she did her power move in the last episode, and now she has the power in the relationship, but she doesn't know what to do with the power that she now has. So she's still in the same boat pretty much. Since Jay is so down bad, him and Nate go and split off from the group and do their own little side mission, trying to get a hot tub from some old lady. And Leia and Ozzy kind of split off and do the whole gay party episode. So that just leaves Gwen and Nikki to just be hanging out with each other. And they don't usually hang out because they're very much like, Gwen is team Leia, and then Nikki is team Jay, pretty much. So like they don't usually overlap with each other. So this episode, they kind of have their own little side plot where they get to be friends and they enjoy their friendship. But then they kind of immediately ignore it. So I'm guessing in future episodes, they're going to pretend like it just didn't happen. But they did have a nice little wholesome moment. So I enjoyed that part of the episode. Kind of like did a play on a relationship. They made it like instead of a bromance, it was like, I don't even know what you would call it, but two girls having a bromance. And they make it really like, gay. Like, oh yeah, we were basically like them going on a date and having sex. Because later in the episode, they even say like, oh, did we have fun last night? And then she goes, yeah, we had fun twice. So like that's subverting the whole like bromance thing where two guys will act gay toward each other even though they're just friends. And then they're going to just completely cut it off. I doubt they'll ever do that again. So Ozzy throughout the episode is trying to come out to Kitty, and at one point Leia tries to help him by trying to break the news to Kitty first, testing to see if Kitty would be objective toward the homosexuality. And Leia is really not good at this. She goes up to Kitty and is like, I have this friend. And Kitty's trying to figure out what she's trying to say. She won't even tell her what it's about. She's like, I can't tell you what it is, but it's something that once you do it, you can't go back. And I'm like, how would she understand that means coming out as gay? That doesn't even, that doesn't come together. I don't see how those two ideas meet. But then, Kitty's trying to decrypt this message she's trying to give her. So she assumes that Leia is saying she wants to have sex. So, it's like, once you do it, you can't go back. She's assuming, like, virginity-wise. once you lose your virginity, you can't go back. She'll immediately, Kitty calls her mother, Donna, and then Donna rushes back. And it's nice to see Donna again. It was interesting seeing the mother-daughter talk about all this stuff, you know, just life things, sex, the sex talk, as she called it. But yeah, and it was cool. And then Ozzy really threw Leia under the bus when he said, "Yeah, her hormones are going crazy because they didn't want to. Leia didn't want to out Ozzy as gay. She didn't want to just tell everybody. So they were all like, 'Whoa, what's going on? What's the secret you've been trying to hide?' And she's like, yeah, I don't know." And then Ozzy is like, "Oh yeah, her hormones are crazy. She's been talking about having sex and drawing a bunch of penises." Oh my God, he threw her ass under the bus. I felt bad for her. But somehow Leia like just ate it. She was like, "Yeah, I have been wanting to have sex," and she just goes with the flow. They have this long conversation about sex. And later in the episode, Ozzy says like all he could think about is dicks, so he just said that she thought about dicks, which is like, wow, that's crazy, my guy. That's some crazy stuff. Back to Nate and Jay, and they're over here at this old lady's house trying to get this little jacuzzi. So the lady says, before you buy it, don't you want to try it out? They all hop in the tub, and they're having conversations. Jay kind of is spilling his heart out about how he feels about Leia, and how Leia is not really interested in him anymore or whatever. He's starting to feel a little insecure, I guess. Doesn't know who he is, saying stuff like that. So this man is down bad. Like, you really lost who you were just because of one girl. But turns out this old woman is just trying to get these guys, I guess, to have sex with her. Because her grandmother comes down and is like, she tricks dudes into her hot tub. And then she says, we could go to the bedroom if you want and try out the king-size bed. But I'm like, aren't these guys like 15? They're really underage. This is highly illegal. I don't know, man. This is kind of weird. But the granddaughter is like, of course she was talking nice to you, Jay, because she always talks nice to the cute ones. And you already knew where this episode was going. Like, now Jay's gonna try and talk to this chick instead of Leia. And then later we find out Leia is having second thoughts and stuff, because like I said, she doesn't know what to do with her newfound power over the relationship. She tricked the boy, but she doesn't know what to do next. So she's like, what do I do now? Gwen is like, well, you could always just say how you feel and just stop playing games. And then Leia opts out. She's like, okay, I guess I'll just say how I feel. Enough games. Goes up to Jay. Is about to tell him how she feels. And as soon as she says it, guess who walks in? This random granddaughter of the old lady. She's like, oh, we're going to have our first date. And Leia starts being Leia, and she just like freezes, doesn't know what to say. And then, yeah, that's it. It's over. And we finish off with the best, like, the best gag. The best gag in the show. Whole episode, Red has been against this internet and the computer and all that. We find him in the middle of the night on the computer looking at some actresses of the day. And he just checked. I don't know if he was looking at pornographic images or not, but I don't know. Then he walks down from the bedroom. She's like, what are you doing up? And then he tries to cover up the screen like, oh no, just go back to bed. She's like, no, let me see what that is. So then she's like, oh, you're finally using the internet. She's just happy that he's using it. And she's like, now show me some actor from the 90s that she wanted to see. And he's like, nah, you can go ahead and do that. And then the computer turns off on her, and that's the end of the episode. So I'll be real, I thought this episode wasn't going to be that good when it first started, because it seemed like a whole coming out episode, and I didn't feel like watching that. Because, I mean, it's just going to end, it's going to be predictable. You already know. Nobody is going to, like, go, oh, you sick monster. You know, even, like, Kitty, I already knew she was not going to object to the fact that he was gay. Everyone knew that was going to happen. Like, as soon as she finds out he's gay, she's like, you know, oh, you were comfortable enough to tell me that you were gay? That's pretty much all she was going to do. Then the whole Jay and Leia thing, like I thought that they were just gonna end up together, but the whole like he's dating someone else now plot isn't surprising. Like I didn't see it coming, but like as soon as the girl was introduced, and she's like, "Oh, my grandmother always helps out the cute ones." I'm like, yeah, he's about to go talk to this girl, and now Leia is gonna whatever and be upset that he's talking to some other girl now. But we'll see what happens in the next episode. I think he's pretty much that relationship isn't gonna last long. Maybe an episode or two. 2 episodes tops. If it lasts longer than 2 episodes, then I don't know. I might just be off. Like I might be losing it. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this episode, and peace out.